Now we have two big cases in mind: the slush fund of the NIA found in the Ikoyi house, and the prosecution process of the former SGF. People feel that these processes are being sloppy. What do you think?
I think, it is the general attitude in this government that does not take things, with the necessary speed, it ought to take, and that is why it's creating this, impression that, maybe some people have been spared. Otherwise, really, going by what we are seeing in the anti-corruption war in Nigeria, I don't think, that is the case. But however, people have different interpretation on action they see. So maybe perhaps the former President Obasanjo has his own way of analyzing things. But for me, as somebody who, is fighting corruption, who is also monitoring the work of the anti-corruption agencies, I think they are doing their work. They are also overwhelmed.
When you say the Buhari's administration is overwhelmed by the challenges on ground, are you suggesting that they don't have the political will to tackle these challenges headlong?
There is a political will, but the reality is that the people that constitute the menace of corruption, they are more powerful than actually the people that are fighting corruption in the country. For example, a lot of people who have looted money, they still have access to bringing in confusion and making it look as if they are just being selected for victimization when they have looted and destroyed the country. So those people, they are a large number. Mr. President and many of his party members also did not necessarily share the same spirit with the Mr. President, because Mr. President himself has not been able to groom people, or has not been able to have a particular set of people that can actually support the work that he's doing. So he's like himself and his vice president are alone in the fight against corruption within the executive. The state governors, the local government, the ministers, and many people in the National Assembly did not necessarily share the same spirit with the Mr. President, and that is a problem.
Is this administration a governance posture that you would love to see beyond 2019?
Well, I think that is, for me, that letter or that particular, suggestion was overblowing. I think Obasanjo may have meant well for Muhammadu Buhari, given the age, situation he found himself, and also the health condition. These are reality. These are facts. And if the President Obasanjo, as his senior, and his brother, as somebody also who believed in him, who helped to get Buhari into power, and he noted that because of his health condition, which everybody knows, and because of his age, he might not be able to be effective and efficient, if he goes for the second term. And if you kindly advise him that maybe perhaps it's better for him not to worry himself for the second term, I don't think, it is a negative thing. I think it is a brotherly advice to him, and it's now left for the President Muhammadu Buhari to, make a choice, because he has democratic, and constitutional right to actually seek for the second term if he thinks that he has enough popularity or support, from Nigerians.
To put it succinctly, has the Buhari administration performed well enough to stay in office beyond 2019?
To be honest to you, in some areas they have done well, because if you look at the area of insecurity, in some aspect of area of insecurity, like for example, people living in the northeast, they will definitely appreciate what the present government has done to them, and even generally, in terms of the proliferation of, arms and bombs. In those days, every day, every Friday, every Sunday, you hear one bomb or the other. Now you don't hear those things. So in some areas, we definitely have to give them kudos. In the area of the fight against corruption, the kind of democratization of looting and stealing that took place in the past now is no longer, in practice, So you could say that yes, in some areas they have, actually done, some, good work, and they need to improve on those areas that they have also done some good work. And in the other area, like for example, in the area of the economy, that's where many Nigerians actually did not think that the government has done very well, because if you look at the rate of unemployment, if you look at the rate of inflation, if you look at the exchange rate regime that we find ourselves, all those are things that many Nigerians will not give pass to this administration.
Many experts believe that this is a time when government should be held accountable for their promises during the election, and failure to deliver on these promises should attract a penalty, and that's just simple. That's by voting them out of the office. When you find government that has promised to secure lives and property, to revamp the economy, and the economy is still at this stage where unemployment is high, what's your assessment of such administration?
Well, like I said, this is an individual decision. Some people, the government, is doing well in those areas you mentioned. To some people, the government has failed, completely in meeting the expectation of Nigerians. And I, one of those people that actually look at the area of the security, look at the area of the anti-corruption, to say that yes, we were much better than what it used to be yesterday. But still there's room for improvement, because as the government is battling with one aspect of insecurity, another aspect of insecurity is coming up, like all this issue of kidnapping, all these issues of communal violence and deepening crisis between the herdsmen and farmers. These are things that, they were there before, but now they have become much more pronounced. So which means that the government need to diversify its effort and energy and intelligence to deal with those aspects. So there's need to improve in even what the areas that they think they have actually done very well.